What's up everyone, Sebastian with Press Start Seb. The Boruto anime has officially started, and as such, I'm going to start doing weekly reviews. I'm going to review every episode of Boruto from this moment forth, starting with the first episode. Spoiler alert, it was really fucking good. Now just to forewarn everyone, the nature of these episodes are going to be kind of spoilery, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to contain all just the information of the episode, and I'm not going to reference anything that's happening in the manga, which is obviously quite a bit more forward in the overall story. So I'm going to kind of first start with the first minute and a half of this episode. Oh my god. It starts and it's like a really deep voice Boruto saying, "The age of shinobi is over." Smash cut to all the Hokage faces all fucking blown up and destroyed. The Leaf Village is just... And on top of the broken Naruto face, it's like half the face is gone, is Boruto and a character that we now know his name is Kawaki? And they're mid-battle and they kind of exchange a couple of words right before they continue to fight. Kawaki drops a huge fucking bomb saying that, "Boruto, do you want me to send you where I sent the 7th Hokage?" I don't know how to process this. It seems obvious what he's referring to, but I don't want to say it because I can make it true. He sent him, maybe he's dead, maybe he sent him physically somewhere else. Naruto hasn't shied away from different time-space things, so it could be like an Obito sent him to another dimension. I hope it's that, because I don't want Naruto to die. I can't. So that happened. It was in terms of starting a new series, especially fresh off the coats of Shippuden, people are going to be like, "Oh, it's going to be Naruto all over again." And starting like this is a fucking bold statement saying, look, this is what's going to happen. This is where we're heading towards. This isn't just going to be Naruto all over again. Shit's fucking real. And I really appreciate that they did that, although it kind of takes the winds out of the rest of the episode because you can't really top that intro. Speaking of intro, the actual intro itself, I really enjoy the music. I really enjoy the animation and the poppy colors and stuff. It's really different. I understand it's trying to make its own little unique style, and I get it. I love it. It's very similar to the Boruto movie in the way the animation looked there, and I'm a big fan. The Kanabun guys, they made the ending song in the Boruto movie credits, and I'm all about their stuff. So before I move on, there's a couple things I want to bring up specifically about that little intro that's smash cut to the future. That's that Boruto's wearing Sasuke's cloak, that Boruto's using Sasuke's sword, and that Boruto has Sasuke's headband. So now if he's saying, "Let me send you where I sent the 7th Hokage," I don't know what the state of Sasuke is, because it must be naked somewhere, or he's dead. And also, briefly, you see the weird Byakugan hybrid thing that Boruto has in his right eye that's been sliced open. I assume it's from that Kawaki guy or any number of things. It's really hard to tell. But the cursor marks that they both seem to have and that they activate is really cool. I'm really excited to see how they get it, how it works, what kind of advantages you get from that. It's just so much. They've kind of delivered so much that you want to unpack and figure everything out, and I think that's really, really cool. So moving on to the show, the episode itself takes place quite a bit before both the movie and the manga do, obviously. So this happens before they enter the Ninja Academy to become Genin. It's the day before, actually. I think this is really cool because it allows them to kind of develop things at their own pace, create some character development, show you the different relationship dynamics between the characters, and then eventually they're not going to catch up to the manga so soon and then bloat it with filler later on. I'd prefer to kind of pad it and have this nice gradual increase, which I think is really interesting that they did for this episode. I want to talk about Naruto. I hate what they did. Why does his hair look like that? He's just so old looking and his hair's dumb. Look how fucking cool Minato looked. Minato's got the coolest haircut, in the whole show. And I'm expecting, man, Naruto's gonna grow up, he's gonna have a sick haircut, he's gonna be a sick Hokage. He's got this weird, poncho cloak, and his hair is really dumb. I hoped that for some reason with the anime they take creative liberties and make him look not like a fucking idiot. Obviously, disappointed. But it's also because I love Naruto so much, so I want him to be like the coolest and the most hip, and have like the really cool cloak and the really awesome Minato hair. Also, I understand why they're doing it, but I don't like seeing him being this tired Hokage. He's got the bags under his eyes, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to be here overnight again. I understand why they're doing it, because it creates a reason why he's not in the episodes as much, because the focus isn't on him. But I wanna think that he's doing a better job at the Hokage. It's been his goals, his aspiration for so long, and to see him being like worn down by it, it's a really uncomfortable juxtaposition between him as a kid aspiring to be the Hokage and him being an adult and seeming to be overwhelmed by it. Alright, that's it with Naruto. I'm not gonna say anything more about him because I realize the show's not about him anymore. So Boruto is really, really cool. I like his attitude and his kind of, he has enough of his dad in him, but yet he's different enough that he can definitely stand to be his own character in his own show. The one that is frustrating, if you have watched the Boruto movie, a lot of the character progression that was seen in that, and like really satisfying moments, because it's so the time is so much earlier, you don't get that carryover. So you're seeing a childish side to him again. You're seeing a rebellious side, a side that's uncomfortable with his dad being the Hokage, that resents his dad being the Hokage, and you don't get that maturity of understanding, this is what my dad has to do, and this is how I'm going to handle it. So that kind of backwards step in his character progression is kind of frustrating, but it'll be more rewarding when the time does come and he does mature. There wasn't a whole lot of other characters. You don't see much of Sarada, you don't see much of Chocho or whatever her name is. But you do see Shikadai for a little bit, and I love him. He's essentially just Shikamaru, and Shikamaru's my fucking man. So if you want to just rip his character off and make his son just him, go ahead. The one thing I thought was really cool is the train sequence with Denki, who's a character that I don't believe is in the manga, and he's not in the movie, so I think he's an anime-specific character, and he works as a really good foil for Boruto, but I don't know if this is getting really meta and really deep, but the train kind of symbolizes this in Boruto, and Shikadai mentioned it. It's this new Konoha. It's this progression towards the future. And it's really evident at the end of the episode when that train cart smashes into the Naruto head in the Hokage wall. It's essentially the new Leaf smashing into the old, what we've come to expect from Naruto. Boruto's like literally and physically breaking down what we've come to expect. And it's showing that it's a new story. It's not going to rest on the laurels of what's come before it, this dynasty that's been before it. It's something new, and it's physically smashing two worlds together. I like it. Was that intentional? I like to look into things in a really symbolic way. There's a couple of the things that were interesting from the episode. Is the weird Boruto getting the weird Byakugan looking thing. It looks like the Byakugan, but the actual eyeball is like a dark blue or black almost. And that seems to be responding to this dark energy that Denki gets when he gets bit by a snake thing. Is it Orochimaru? I don't think so. If it's him, it's just like, come on, like, this guy's just up to fucking no good all the time. Why are you guys not watching him better? So I don't think it's him. I hope it's not him. Also, Himawari, I love her. I hope that she becomes a huge part of the... I want her everywhere. I want her to grow up and be a fucking cool badass. I want her to be stronger than Boruto. Like, I hope that she's a huge part of the series moving forward. I know she's a lot younger now, but what we saw from the beginning, there is a huge time skip, so I hope we get to see a lot of her development. She's also in the episode very briefly. And also one thing, there's this one clip when Naruto's there with all the kids who are entering the Ninja Academy, and it shows a scene of all the teachers. This scene right here. Okay, there's Iruka Sensei. There's some people that we recognize, and then there's Anko. Being a young man watching Naruto, seeing Anko, she was so hot and really just badass. But more importantly, she was just hot and very revealing. Her tits were almost always out, like just that much wasn't showing. And then now look at her. What happened, Anko? What happened? But that's more of my silly headcanon that I'm like, no, don't do that. But I really enjoyed the ending of the episode. It shows Boruto looking up at the Hokage statue saying, this is my story now. There's a lot of good symbolism and a lot of good kind of setting of its own. It's going to be its own thing with its own kind of tones, but it's definitely going to you're definitely going to see some of the older characters. I want to know what you guys think about this episode. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? If I had to give it a ranking, the first minute is a fucking 13 out of 10. The rest of it's probably like an 8, 8.5. It doesn't do anything revolutionary, but it is entertaining. All of that's probably from that first minute, just running through, and I'm hyped for the rest of the episode. But I like the little nods and winks that they did there. I like the idea that he's younger and you're going to see some more of his time in the academy. But there are some things that I hope that they gets developed more so in the future. So I wonder what you guys think. What did you think of this in terms of a first episode? You can compare it to other first episodes of animes, or just standing alone. What do you think of this as a first episode? Let me know in the comment section below. We'll get a good discussion going. What you want to see forward and what you think that first little minute means for the rest of the series. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. This is going to be a weekly series. This episode is going to be a little late on the upload. Also, I'm getting some commissioned artwork done for a cool thumbnail, so stay tuned for that as always. But this is going to come out every week for every episode. So be sure to stick around for that, guys. Subscribe. Love you very much. Thanks for watching. See ya.